What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, a source extremely close to Saul Canelo Alvarez, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion, first ballot Hall of Famer superstar Mexican boxer, with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout, have confirmed to me some details regarding a viral boxing moment and events that have taken place with Canelo Alvarez training in preparation for first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed champion, undefeated pound-for-pound king, Terrence Bud Crawford, who has 41 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. Canelo Alvarez has brought in undefeated, former unified IBF, WBA, Ring Magazine, welterweight world champion, now junior middleweight, soon-to-be title contender, the phenom as I refer to him as, Jaron Boots Ennis, who has 34 wins, no loss, no draw, 30 wins by way of knockout. Jaron Ennis has entered training camp to help spar and prepare Canelo Alvarez up in California for his showdown with Terrence Crawford September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, where you have a situation where Jaron Ennis has a lot of similarities, at least early on in his rise, to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is 5'8", Jaron Ennis is 5'10". Crawford has a 74-inch arm reach. Jaron Ennis has a 74-inch arm reach. They both switch from southpaw to orthodox. They both have a lot of power. So they have similarities to one another, right? And so with that said, Canelo Alvarez brings Jaron Boots Ennis in camp. Jaron Ennis reveals this, right? Jaron Ennis himself revealed this on his social media that he's in camp with Canelo Alvarez, sparring Canelo Alvarez, right? And now, as I said, because I asked this question, and I said, because a lot of people in the uproar, a lot of people have an issue with it because the race barrier, right? It's black against Mexican. That's always a big rivalry in the sport of boxing. Everybody says that's what sells. So with that said, now that this is indeed the case, Jaron Ennis being an African-American fighter going to help Canelo Alvarez is frowned upon. And I said the big question needs to be asked. Who reached out to who? Because on the part of Canelo Alvarez, it's smart. It's strategic. He's supposed to do that. Because if anybody can mimic Terrence Crawford, it would be Jaron Ennis, right? But with that said, as time went on, you can see the difference in their styles, right? And so it's just frowned upon with the whole Mexican-African-American rivalry, black boxer rivalry, right? And so I said, the real question is, who reached out to who, right? Did Jaron Boots Ennis volunteer his services to Canelo Alvarez to defeat Terrence Crawford? That's completely different. Or did Canelo Alvarez reach out to Jaron Ennis and say, hey, I need your assistance? So I've raised this question. And so a member from Canelo Alvarez team has reached out to me, and they told me that indeed Jaron Ennis reached out and says, offers his services, would he be, that being Canelo, interested in allowing him to come to camp? He believed he could be an asset to him in camp. And it said to me that he's getting between $10,000 to $12,000 for his services, right? So that's what I'm being told, that he's getting about anywhere between $10,000 and $12,000 to go to camp with Canelo Alvarez, right? So that's a member from Canelo Alvarez's team, source, that told me that Jaron Ennis reached out to them, and that Canelo Alvarez was very open to allowing him to come into camp, and that he didn't even think that he would be open to coming in camp since he's such a high-profile fighter. And now I got two different sources, actually, that says that he's getting anywhere between $10,000 to $12,000 in camp, to be in camp to help Canelo Alvarez. I don't know how long, because the fight is in a few weeks, about 3 weeks out right now. So I don't know how long he's supposed to be in camp with him, or whatever the case may be, but that's what I'm being told. That Jaron Ennis indeed reached out to see if, it was possible for him to come to camp and help Canelo Alvarez out. And Canelo Alvarez was very, very open to it, was surprised that Jaron Ennis was willing to come to camp, and they willing to pay him $10,000 to $12,000 for his services. So again, who knows? This is what I'm being told from a member of Canelo Alvarez's camp. They said that, because I asked the question, right? And this came from them defending, because I got a source that told me that Jaron Ennis reached out and that Jaron Ennis was giving $10,000. And so, this was them defending Canelo Alvarez, essentially telling me, Canelo was just fine without bringing Jaron Ennis in camp. This is them defending Canelo, saying, listen, we're going to do what it do with or without Jaron Boots Ennis. And so they telling me that he reached out to them and Canelo was more than willing to allow it, but he didn't think that he would have been up to it. So I said, well, if you didn't think that he would be up to it, then that means that Canelo Alvarez would have loved to have him in camp to begin with, right? I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Either which way, I think that there's two major differences between Jaron Ennis and Terrence Crawford that won't help Canelo Alvarez September 13th, which is the timing, the judging of distance, and the jab that Terrence Crawford consistently uses. Jaron Ennis has the ability, and he can mimic that, but he doesn't use that in his arsenal. He has it, he don't use it. I'm not saying he can't, he just don't use it. So it's going to be interesting, man. Let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Again, like I said, I don't believe it's going to make a difference anyway. I think that Terrence Crawford is still going to win. And this was them saying that, they just stopping short of saying I'm only saying that because Terrence Crawford is black. So they're defending Canelo Alvarez to me. They come out of Eddie Reynoso's gym, and they've been in camp with Canelo Alvarez. So this was just me doing my homework. But, hey, if you're Jaron Ennis, you don't owe Terrence Crawford anything. And there's no loyalty in the black community anyway, right? There's no, we don't have no code in the black community. It's the Wild Wild West, right? And he don't owe Terrence Crawford nothing. And self-preservation is the number one rule in life. So he making sure he get his, right? And get the experience he quote unquote needs. But what y'all think about this, man? Let me know what y'all think, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.